Hi, welcome back and good Monday to you. Thanks for being here on the last Monday of April already. May just around the corner. We're starting off this week on the 24th day of the month and on a rather cloudy and cool note. That's going to change over the course of the next couple of days. And then, of course, there's a change coming thereafter. Right now, a lot of folks in other parts of the area, for the most part, as the viewing area was spared from really heavy rainfall. I think for the entire month right now, I've got about 3.5 inches here at the studio, and some folks saw that much over this last rain event. And rivers like Cumberland and Kentucky are cresting today and will be receding through day after tomorrow, even with a few isolated showers. It shouldn't really add much insult to injury tonight for those areas. We have some beautiful, hot, dry weather, and then we'll see some more possible severe weather and storms on your Thursday, and that will be one of our focal points when we get to your weather forecast in more detail. A lot of things happening and not happening tonight. It's been an adjustment of sorts, a few cancellations. We'll talk about some ball games and schedules. Go over those for you in just a few moments. Several meetings here happening in the viewing area, and some postponed, I think, for a few days. Nevertheless, I have a camera at least one this evening, and we'll talk about some other things happening as well. Also, I did stop by today. I had a few appointments in Johnson County, and stopped by our friends, see our friends over at the Whiskers of Wags Animal Shelter. They got a couple of really cool prizes they're taking raffle tickets on, or selling raffle tickets on, for just a few dollars. You can get them as simply as going on to PayPal. If you have a PayPal account or not, it still works, and I'll let Lisa tell you about that in a second. I'm buying tickets as soon as I wrap up tonight, and a lot of other news and information before we leave you, including that of a guilty verdict that was found just earlier today in Johnson County Court. A lot of other news and information as we start off this week, starting in just a few seconds. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. With her boyfriend avoiding the death sentence and facing multiple life sentences without parole, still officially to be sentenced, Amanda Bowen also heard her fate today in Johnson County Court. A result may be giving some family members at least a little closure today, as prosecutors had sought the death penalty against both of the accused, 41-year-old Jack Smith and this woman, now 29-year-old Amanda Bowen, charged with murdering Tina Goebel, her boyfriend, Candy Johnson, and Goebel's little granddaughter, 8-year-old Trinity Maynard. All were shot and stabbed to death, all their bodies discovered in Goebel's home, which was set on fire and basically burned down around them in August of 2014. The blaze and the murders and the deaths believed to be part of a robbery situation. That was the motive that turned fatal. Both charged with 3 counts of murder and various other charges. Arson. Bowen also charged with being a persistent felony offender. While the husband reached a plea deal with prosecutors and now faces 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole. Today, after a trial that began last week, a jury in Johnson County found 29-year-old, once again, Amanda Bowen from Inez guilty on 3 counts of murder, robbery, and tampering with evidence. I'll have more on her sentencing and her date to be sentenced when those court records are filed. Still more headlines to come right now, as we are about to find out 2 really awesome raffles are being held right now by our friends at the Johnson County Animal Shelter. You can stop by and buy your tickets. You can find them in a couple of locations, or you can simply log on to PayPal on the internet. Whether you have a PayPal account or not, it's still easy and just a few bucks. And like I said, a couple of really great prizes. A fundraiser to help, of course, much needed money to keep the animal shelter going in an effort to continue to reunite and find homes for dogs and cats to the tune of almost 1,000 in 2016. But before we talk about this most recent fundraiser, which is simple as clicking online to get a ticket for, I had to find out about the Rockin' Barkin' Barbecue, their 5th annual and largest fundraiser of the year, just a few days ago, weekend before last, I guess, that I regretfully couldn't make it to.
Our barbecue this year was phenomenal. We had such a great time. Tim Elkins was fantastic. Troy Burchett just blew it, out of this world music entertainment. Food was awesome, and we really appreciate you guys coming out. Again, that was our biggest fundraiser of the year. We always need donations throughout the year. This shelter is funded by your donations. And I know I say that all the time, but I mean, it is what it is. Without your donations, your support, this shelter cannot remain open. So we appreciate any donations and look forward to next year's barbecue.
But in the meantime, they've got a couple of raffles going on right now to be drawn for during the Spring Fling in Paintsville on May the 20th, which is just a couple of weeks away, about 3 or so. And they have made it very easy to get in on the raffle, whether you get a ticket or tickets in person, or whether you simply do it over the internet, for some really cool prizes, both of which I would really like to have, and both of which I'll be buying tickets for probably after the show's over.
One is for I'm calling it a weekend family fun package. It's 4 tickets to a Reds game, Reds versus the Dodgers. It also includes a $50 gift card to Texas Roadhouse. So that's a lot of fun. That'll be a great package, like a mini getaway for a family. And then we also have another raffle that's about $230 value. We also have another raffle for a really nice outdoor furniture set. It includes a love seat and 2 chairs. That's donated by Lowe's. And who doesn't love outdoor furniture? Or need outdoor furniture. The tickets for either one is 2 for $5 or 5 for $10.
And they're making it pretty easy to get tickets, which I hope as many people out there as can will do. You can always stop by the shelter and get them in person, and it's on 460. The best way is, and I know this is telling my age and going over the heads of some of our younger viewers, but in the stretch where Bob's Radiator Service used to be, on the opposite side of the road there's a little small green road marker sign that says Shelter Way. They need to get a sign out front, and they're hopeful that maybe someone will make that type of a donation maybe sometime very soon. They really do need one. Nevertheless, you can stop by the shelter 7 days a week. They're in from like 9:30 till 2:30 through the week, and then Saturday and Sundays 10 till 2. They'll also be selling tickets out in front of the Paintsville Walmart on Saturday the 13th, which is the Saturday before they're going to draw. Or you can simply go to PayPal.com. And once you go to PayPal.com, enter their email, wowanimalshelter@gmail.com. Simply tell them what prize you want to buy tickets for, if not both. Pay with your PayPal account or pay with a credit card. It's just that simple. And be sure and leave your phone number attached as well. And it needs to be noted that some of the biggest supporters of the animal shelter, Johnson County Judge Executive Tucker Daniel and the commissioners, as well as Paintsville Mayor Bill Mike Runyon and his staff, have all signed proclamations designating it the Week for the Animals in Paintsville and Johnson County, in lieu of all of the support and effort that Whiskers or Wags does to their four-legged community. Election season will be here before you know it. Next year's general election, of course, following the May primary, and folks will be able to register for their respective races beginning this November or roundabout. But there's going to be an election sooner than that in Johnson County. In an estimated or mandated 45 days, I believe it is, or sooner, from the entry of a judgment last week in Johnson County Circuit Court. It goes back to a school board tax increase set by the Johnson County Board of Education back in 2014 that is still not resolved. Just last week, Judge John David Preston handed down an order to Johnson County Clerk Sally Holbrook to set an election for the property tax increase that was set by the Johnson County Board of Education in September of 2014. It has to be held 35 to 45 days from his judgment. And the Johnson County School Board has to pick up the tab, an estimated $50,000 in cost. And a meeting held there after the judgment has resulted in the election being set for Tuesday, May the 23rd in Johnson County. The question on the ballot simply states, are you for or against the Johnson County Board of Education's levy of an additional equivalent tax rate of 5 cents on each $100 of valuation on real and property real and personal property to raise funds that would be dedicated strictly to construction, new construction that is, major renovation of existing school facilities, and debt service, with a special election basically following the same guidelines as it would the general election. And we're also told that Paintsville residents who are already paying a nickel tax with the Paintsville Independent School tax or school system will not be involved. So only Johnson County registered voters outside of those areas will actually vote on those issues. This was brought to a ballot issue after a lot of controversy after the school initially proposed an increase or a tax of 52.6 cents per $100 of valuation on motor vehicles and 52.5 cents to property tax. They later voted to adopt a 4% increase, adding a 5.7 cent nickel tax, as we've come to know very well, I think, increase every year. Once again, that election, May the 23rd. All right, let's start off with your McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar and some birthdays on it. Rita Faye and Bonita Gay with a whole lot of love from Virginia, kids, Santana, and a whole lot of family and friends. Happy birthdays. Happy birthday, Rita Faye and Bonita Gay from a whole lot of family and friends. Happy birthdays. Birthdays, that's a plural. And you've seen this man in a few highlight reels here on the program, and you'll probably see him in some more. Happy 17th birthday, Jackson Bryce Salyer. A lot of love, Jackson. From Mom, Brian, Houston, a whole lot of family and friends. Happy 17th birthday today to you, Jackson Salyer. They didn't attach a phone number, but I've got a lost dog, an English red tick hound in the Rock House area. Now, I've messaged back the viewer to get a phone number. I haven't got it yet. So if you've seen the animal, have any questions, call me, and I'll make the connection there in the middle. But a lost English red tick hound in the Rock House area. I'll get a number for you and some more contact information later. But a lost pet that has a collar, but no name on the collar. Water into Wine, just a reminder, they changed their dates, and that's this week. Actually, tomorrow is their senior day at the food pantry. Wednesday of this week will be their regular day for the Water into Wine food pantry at the Lakefront Church of God, of course, Lakefront Church of God on Middle Fork at the old Millard Hensley Elementary School. They hope that you'll join them. Hundreds of people being served throughout that area, and it's just an amazing service. This Thursday night, 2 hours, 6 to 8 in the McGoffin County Fiscal Courtroom, hosted by McGoffin County Emergency Management. The National Weather Service is going to be here telling us all, if you're there, how to be a Skywarn weather spotter. This is a free class where the National Weather Service meteorologist will train you on how to identify and report significant weather events that have an impact on the safety of our community. I hope to be there, and I hope you are too. Spring Revival Evangelism, preaching the cross and Christ crucified at Emmanuel Missionary Baptist Church on Pleasant Hill. That's this Friday at 7 with a dinner to follow, Saturday at 6, and then Sunday at 10 and 11 that morning with a fifth Sunday dinner following, with pastors from the Five Guys in a Bible broadcast throughout. Don't forget about the T-shirt contest at the McGoffin County Extension Office, the Farmers Market specifically. All McGoffin elementary students are asked to create a drawing or an image for a T-shirt. The winner will be selected. That will be put on the T-shirt, and they'll get a $25 prize. 349-3216. You have to have your design for the T-shirt submitted by May the 19th. Plenty of time. And plenty of time to remind you and remember that Knickerbockers will be at the Mount Sinai Church on West Maple Street, basically almost underneath the red light in Saggers. So May the 5th and 6th. If you have any questions, call Rita at 349-2835. And lastly, and I said this Friday, but I've already got it in the program, so we'll leave it and I'll remind you when it gets closer. But the McGoffin County Tire Collection set for May the 18th, 19th, and 20th down in 460 beside the Rumpke Collection Station, 349-2313 or 496-6179 if you have any questions. You can get, if you're not a business or a dealer, if you've got tires that aren't on the rim, they'll take just about all of them for the annual event, what is mostly an annual event, May the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Turning to funeral service announcements, a service provided by our friends at the McGoffin County Funeral Home. We've learned of the passing today of 80-year-old Columbus Ray Howard of Bear Branch, who passed away on the 23rd, on yesterday's date. He's survived by brothers Cleve and Farley Howard and his companion, Teresa Lynn Holbrook. Visitation is going to be after 6 o'clock tomorrow evening and prior to Wednesday's services that are going to begin at 11 o'clock that morning, both from the Sayersville Funeral Home. And burial will follow at the Samuel Arnott Cemetery at Mill Branch in his honor. I started off putting the show together earlier today thinking I had a big evening planned, a couple of meetings and a couple of ball games. One of those meetings still happening and a camera there. Both of the home ball games have since been either rescheduled or canceled altogether. Yeah, what was to be a cool, but what was to be a big night for local sports, not so much now. So here's getting you caught up on the rest of the week. As for the Hornets and Coach Miller, a 4-3 win Friday night. They hosted Rowan County. Now, this is new news. I wasn't able to make it, but a one-run win, 2 wins in a row, and that puts the boys at 8-3, still having a great season. Now, they were set to host Belfry tonight. That game has been canceled. I'm not sure if they're going to reschedule it or not. It's not a district game, so no harm, no foul. But I can tell you that they are set to host Sheldon Clark tomorrow night. We'll hope that game, and I do believe weather-wise, certainly that game will continue. But the boys' game hosting Belfry tonight is no more. The Lady Hornets, last update, it still stands from the time that I caught you up on Friday, 19-2 win over South Floyd. Now, they were to host Pikeville tonight. That game has been changed. They're going to be at Pikeville. Pikeville could get their field better shape a little quicker after all the rain that we had. So they're going to Pikeville tonight. They'll be hosting Pikeville here the next time on the schedule, which will be May the 9th when they were set to be away. So they're at Pikeville tonight instead of home. They'll be at Central tomorrow night. Their next home game not until May the 1st, which will be Monday. Johnson Central and the Golden Eagles, a 1-0 win over Hazard. Hey, a win is a win. And that was Friday night at Hazard in 6 innings. They are hosting Paintsville tomorrow night. That's right. Big crosstown game as the Paintsville Tigers will travel all the way over to Central at 5:30 first pitch, and then Central will be at Paintsville on Tuesday night of next week. Tuesday night of this week, my apologies, tomorrow night. As for the Lady Eagles, Friday night, a road game at Boyd County. 2 losses in a row, both scoreless for the Lady Eagles. This time 0-2 against Boyd County. They were off over the course of the weekend, of course. They are hosting Belfry tonight at 6 o'clock. And tomorrow, they will be hosting McGoffin County and the Lady Hornets. Well, actually, that's what's on the schedule, and actually that will be a conflict with the other schedule I had, Kentucky High School Athletic Association. I'm sure like everybody else trying to juggle all the updates with the schedule and the rain and everything, so we'll follow that. Now, as for the Tigers, real quickly, a 1-7 loss to Cabell Midland of West Virginia on Friday. That was a home game. They will be as I just told you, at Central tomorrow night, then hosting Central on Tuesday. Paintsville right now at 10-8 on the season, and a 3-1 district record thus far. Lady Tigers 1-14 versus Raceland on Thursday. They are on the road tomorrow night at Jackson City. First pitch set for 6 o'clock. The Lady Tigers sitting on a 15-7 season thus far and 2-0 in the 57th district. I'll be right back wrapping up your weather forecast. Yeah, you'll need to be here for that. What to wear this week? Well, the answer to that lies ahead. It's definitely the chili. That homemade, from scratch, hot dog chili smothering every inch of our famous footlong that makes it a one-of-a-kind taste. The only thing that could make it better is to get one for only $2.49 on Mondays and just $1.99 after 4 o'clock. Get our famous footlong with homemade chili any day of the week and get one for cheap on Mondays. Only at your Sayersville Lee's. And once again, we've got just a little bit of everything coming at us weather-wise, and we've had a gray one today. Clouds have hung tough all day, and mostly cloudy skies throughout the rest of your Monday as well. And nighttime lows around 51. We've been in the 60s. I had 64 earlier, I know, as I was on the road. 66 right now if you're catching the end of the early show. It just doesn't feel 66, I guess. Maybe it does. I don't know. It feels cool. I guess 66 is cool compared to 80 and 85. Nevertheless, mostly cloudy. Can't rule out a 20% chance of some isolated showers. It's felt like it's going to let loose with a little at least sprinkle every now and then, but so far it's been a really dry afternoon, so those chances of some isolated showers will start to continue to wane rather throughout the rest of your evening. And then watch things recover and recoup tomorrow and into your Wednesday. A lot of warm air pushing in, 76, 54, mostly sunny, clear. No complaints, no issues. Wednesday, 85 and 60, sunny, mostly clear. No complaints, no issues till that point. It's Thursday that our next frontal system comes in and starts to wreak a little havoc. Temperature-wise, not yet. Still 79, close to 80. 57 for your nighttime low. We'll have some partly sunny skies. We'll work in about a 40% chance of some showers and thunderstorms. There's also a possibility of some severe weather on Thursday as well. I think that chance of showers is going to increase, and I think that's pretty light from the latest update from the National Weather Service based on everything else that I'm looking at. Nevertheless, we'll go with it for now, but expect a big change, I think, for Thursday and the possibility of some severe weather to go along with it. As for your Friday, still around 80, still partly sunny, and a 40% chance of showers. And over the course of your weekend right now, we're still looking at the mid-80s, another warm run. The 80s stick around until we crash a little bit by Monday of next week. Temperatures down into the upper 60s, low 70s or so, and what could be dry slash wet weekend. Looking at Saturday mostly sunny, and then Sunday with some showers to work their way in. But it's just Monday for now. All you need to know and worry about, I think, is tomorrow and Wednesday being nice and summer-esque, and then we'll worry about the rest of it later. Well, that's it for the first of 5 days of coverage this week. Thank you for being a part of it. Hope to see you back here tomorrow night.